Hi there. In this video, we'll look at problem 8 from the multiple choice practice questions in the AP course description. In this problem, we are asked to find the average rate of change of a function whose formula is provided on a particular interval. And we're supposed to select the answer from these choices. Okay, so just to help you understand what's going to happen, I've just constructed the graph of this. And if you plug in 0, which is one endpoint of the interval we're given, you get 0. If you plug in 3, which is the other endpoint, you get 66. And if we can just look at that for a moment, we see that the inputs change by 3. They're 3 apart. And the outputs change from 0 to 66, so the outputs change by 66. Okay. In other words, let me just make a picture for this. If we look at what's going on with this triangle right here, we see that the vertical change, delta y, is 66, and the horizontal change, delta x, is 3. Okay? And of course, if we look at the ratio here, we get 22. And what that says is that, let's just think for a moment that this is 3 hours and this is 66 miles. Well, the 22 is telling us each hour, okay, the object is traveling 22 miles. Another hour, another 22 miles. Another hour, another 22 miles. Okay, in other words, on average, the object is moving at 22 miles per hour. Now, as you can see, it actually did some more complicated things. It went backwards for a while, and then it went fast, like that. So it was not moving 22 miles per hour the whole time, but that is its average speed across the 3-hour time interval. Okay, so on the AP test, we don't have the luxury of looking at a graph, and so we're going to have to come up with the information ourselves, but I thought that visual would just be helpful in terms of your conceptual understanding of the average rate of change. Okay, so let's work through this example in the way that we would on an AP test. And so I like to keep my timer up here. Let me count up towards 3 minutes. Okay, so after reading the problem and deciding what we need to do, okay, let me, I guess, make one further comment before I start the timer. The average rate of change in general on an interval AB is the difference in the outputs divided by the difference in the inputs. Okay, so that's sort of the, algebraically, that's the framework that we're going to be working from. Okay, so maybe I'll just kind of keep that off to the side so that you can see what it is that I'm doing with that. Okay, so with that comment out of the way, let's get into the problem, and I'll put my timer back up for that. Okay, here goes. So I need to plug in 3 into the formula, plug in 0 into the formula. Okay, and so I'll just take a moment to figure that information out. So we have x to the 4th minus 5x, and we would like to plug in 3. Okay, so a little sidebar. I know 3 to the 4th is 81. I'm just going to stop my timer just for the sake of making that clear, because you do have to be able to work this out without a calculator. So 3 to the 4th is 1, 2, 3, 4 factors of 3. This makes 9. This makes 9, and this does indeed make 81. All right, so 3 to the 4th power is 81. And I'll restart my timer with that. Okie doke. So we have 81 and 15. All right, so f of 3 is 81 take away 15. And obviously, if you put 0 into the formula, you get 0 minus 0. Okay, and now it looks like we can do this problem by performing a bunch of subtractions. So let me go ahead and start doing that. 81 take away 10 is 71, take away 5 is 66, I believe. And then we just subtract 0, divide by 3, and we get 22, which is answer choice C. And so there you have it. In 1 minute, 11 seconds, approximately, you should be able to come up with the answer to this problem if you understand average rate of change. All right, so with that, as always, let's connect this question to the topic outline and the goals for a calculus course. As you see here, we have the notion of, let me just back this off a little bit, an average rate of change coming up in the context of derivatives. Okay? And early in the course, students learn that the concept of instantaneous rate of change is really just a limit of average rates of change. So in other words, if you want to understand derivatives, you had better know all about average rates of change. Hope this video was helpful to you. We'll see you next time.